Welcome to the new Fathom Podcast, Getting Deep with Fathom, episode 002, entitled Give Me More Mores.
Ooh.
That was, the guest is Mitch Blueblitz. The guest drug is coffee. Our serious theme is racism / white supremacy. This is our second episode. We normally do this down at the Guff Records studio at Paul Buxton's house. We are here in Studio C with Calvin Crepo. Is it Crepo?
Crepo, yeah.
Is it really Crepo?
Yeah. It looks like creep.
I like Crepo better.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Me too.
And his lovely fiance Amy is going to be here. She's not going to be talking much, but she's kind of going to fill in for information. She's going to be our coffee bitch. So if we need more coffee, because we're going to be drinking a lot of coffee. I'm not a coffee guy myself. I usually drink energy drinks and Mountain Dews and Red Bulls, and I'm going to do my ritual of that too, just jack it up a little bit more. So the rules now, Calvin, you've never been here before, but being my co-host, filling in for Paul, your job is to get jacked up on coffee.
Right on.
Now, me and Mitch are going to be doing the same thing,
Yeah.
but I want you to drink a lot of coffee.
All right, man. I'll take it to the next
And
level.
I don't want you to puke or poop or anything like that, but I want you to do the best that you can because we want to. It's like a social experiment. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
I am an avid coffee drinker. I drink like 2 pots.
You know, and
Okay.
everybody is.
No
And
lie.
I have a funny story. I have a funny story about why I don't drink coffee that we'll get into in a little bit.
It's a good one.
But I'm going to start out. Mitch Blueblitz is a guy from Eau Claire, Wisconsin. He's a heavy metal singer from Moore's Macanano. Matt-
None of that is correct. No.
Moore's.
No.
No, it's not even Moore's.
Nope.
I am the worst. And these guys are all my friends. What is it? How do you say the band with you and Des?
Mors Mortis Machinatio.
Oh, it's Moore's Mortis.
Yes.
So give me Mortis Moors is what I should call the episode. Fuck.
I know it totally worked.
It totally worked.
I think it
But
still
I
works.
always was just like M.
Oh well, I mean, people had their own version of it for how many years? So,
Well, and he's from another band. You sang in another band in Minneapolis. What band was that?
Thera.
Thera. And you guys dressed up all crazy and stuff, right?
It had a heavy steampunk influence.
Heavy
yes.
steampunk. And yeah, I saw the pictures. The pictures were amazing. I never did make it out to a show because you only played with them for maybe like almost a year.
Yeah, around there.
Somebody.
Only a couple Eau Claire shows.
Well, so he's a heavy metal singer. He's a twin. He's a public figure, a local art and performance supporter. He's kind of a drinker. He goes out to the bars a lot, drink beer a lot,
True.
supports bands from rap to hip-hop to metal to comedy. Anywhere, he knows it. He's a cool dude with a really cool laugh. I've always liked him since the day I met him. I met his sister first, but I think me and him clicked because I used to sing heavy metal.
Yep.
And we both have beards, and we have the same friends.
True.
And we used to frequent the House of Rock, the late House of Rock, and we'll get into that a little bit too.
Rest in peace.
In your day job, you're a garbage man, right?
Yeah.
I grew no. Box sanitation.
Technically, yes.
No, you guys have some of the coolest looking hats, T-shirts.
We got a lot of merch out there.
I literally, the first time I saw the gear, I thought it was like a band.
Yeah, I mean,
And I was like, where do you get those hats?
I have a lot of sweet trucker
And
hats.
they were like, it's my trash company I work for. And I was like, those are tight. And they're kind of a new business. Is that your only day job? Is that what you do for the cash? And then you do the music for the passion?
Yeah, pretty
and
much.
the drinking for the fun,
all the time, relentlessly.
right? And coffee. Coffee is our guest info. I like to thank you for coming, by the way, before I get into that. Mitch,
Absolutely.
thanks for being here. There's a little handshake right there. I've been trying to get him in here for about 2 months.
Yeah, sorry about that. By the way.
No, it's me too, because I work 3 jobs, and I'm a little bit of a shut-in. Calvin Crepo's letting us use his house. He's also going to be our sponsor tonight. So Studio C, you can look it up on Facebook. You can hit me up on my Facebook if you are looking for modest pricing recording. He's the guy to call. He does all genres, everything like that. Depending on how hard he works for you is how talented you are, though, right? Isn't that the way it works?
It's like sometimes, I'm dedicated. I find an artist's sound, really. I like working with maybe with a musician that's just a singer-songwriter by himself or whatever. Maybe he's not in a band. Maybe he doesn't know how to quite write songs or whatever, you know. I got together with a group of guys, older folks up in Lake Hallie, and, you know, guys just playing that classic rock who always wrote songs, you know, and they're in their 40s or whatever, you know, and, you know, just stuff like that, you know, just being creative with people and,
so
you know,
basically,
connecting.
our sponsors don't pay us. They trade us stuff. And like Trenty was our sponsor last time. He took pictures for us. This guy's letting us use his house, his microphones, and he gives me deals. And if you want a deal and you want to do that, you know, and out of the 70 people that are going to listen to this podcast, that's the guy to hit up.
I think it's going to skyrocket this week.
Yeah, probably. I won't even have time to get in here. I'm going to go back to my USB mic. So coffee. I don't know much about coffee. I've never really drank coffee. Basically, when I was 13 years old, I used to go on paper routes with my father. Okay? We would take the papers and we'd put them in the machines at gas stations. We'd drive all around Wisconsin. It would take like 8 hours. We'd do it on like nights. Yeah. And I was like grounded or something, so I had to go with my dad. And we went through the drive-thru at Burger King or McDonald's or whatever was open late night. And he spilt coffee all over my crotch.
Poor kid.
No, I'm serious. Like hot coffee all over. And this is like December, Wisconsin. And we still had, 4 hours left of the paper route. So I'm sitting here in pain with like burns on my thighs and, you know, a little bit on my junk,
right.
You know. And the smell of the coffee reminds me of the pain of the burn of the thing because it got cold and wet and disgusting. And so I can't even eat a Heath bar without thinking about pain to my junk.
In my penis area.
Yeah.
But when we were talking about how we wanted to make white supremacy and racism the serious topic tonight,
sure.
I was like, well, what do racists do? And everybody's like, meth. And I was like, well, I'm not going to do meth, so, like, we're going to do coffee.
If you wouldn't, I'd appreciate it.
Yeah, well, no, that's after the show. After
no meth in the house, please.
I know where a party is after this. So I don't know anything about coffee. I've probably had 6 full coffees in my life. When we went down to Caribou Coffee, hopefully they merit the promotion. I got this turtle, what is it?
Turtle mocha. I
Turtle
believe.
mocha, and it is fucking fantastic.
It's fire. Yeah.
Were they all turtle mochas?
There's the campfire right there.
Oh, yeah, that's what I had. This is delicious.
Did you drink the whole thing already?
Oh, yeah.
Avid
Coffee drinker.
He's doing.
I'm still getting jacked. You know?
And we got.
I'm
hooked.
I'm hooked.
We got coffee on the pot. I don't know what brand. I don't think it really matters because I'm not like a connoisseur. Are you guys connoisseurs of coffee at all?
Not really. It's just Folgers.
Folgers, just Folgers. Folgers. Best part of waking up. Best commercial, coffee commercial out there. Yeah. Tell me you guys' relationship with coffee. Let's start with Mitch. What you told me you drink coffee every day?
Absolutely.
Is it actually a drug? Because when I told Paul we were gonna do a coffee episode, he was like, I want to do a real drug.
Oh, really?
And I'm like, coffee's a real drug or alcohol. We usually do alcohol.
Yeah.
But which we do have a little bit of whiskey, and that's okay. And if anybody wants to put this Irish whiskey in their coffee, feel free. That's what it's there for. You know, loosen us up. But I think we're pretty comfortable. We got a nice couch. We got a nice scene. Yeah. The lighting's just right, maybe a little bright, but it's.
Is it too bright? Is it too
It's
too
pretty
dark?
good.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it's nice.
But tell me a little bit about coffee. Like, is it a drug?
I mean, I guess I don't personally consider it a drug myself. I'd drink it pretty.
I mean, but isn't it like sugar even a drug, though? And anything that changes your chemical balance, isn't that a substance of, I don't know. And I'm
sugar probably more so, in my opinion, the way that it reacts with your brain actually is the same way that crack cocaine reacts.
Really?
Your brain. It's the same.
Have you ever done crack cocaine?
No.
Is that a lie?
No, no lie. No.
I mean, I don't support crack cocaine, but
right.
I've never done crack.
Yeah.
Because just the way that it sounds.
It sounds bad.
If somebody was like, do you want to smoke some crack? I would go, do I want to do some crack? And I would be like, no fucking way.
No.
Yeah. Because it sounds like, I'm on a sketch for Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
I don't know. But you like coffee. You drink coffee every day.
Yeah. I don't get nuts with sweeteners or anything. Actually, usually just drink it black.
Oh, there was one other time. One other time I had coffee. I went to Burger King and I was young, and I put a shit ton of because when I was a kid I used to put sugar in my cereal until the sugar came up above the milk, and then I would stir. Mm-hmm. That's why I have like fucked up teeth. But I did that with like some black coffee at Burger King, and I put so much sugar in there, and I got like food poisoning, and I puked for like hours. So I haven't had a lot of good experiences with coffee. Tonight's gonna be the first one, I think.
I think you're gonna have a good time tonight with it.
Are you a coffee guy, Calvin?
Oh yeah.
Like every day?
I can tell he is.
Like I said,
You can tell that he is?
I can tell he is,
because he
'cause
drank
he's
that
taking
shit
it
so
down.
fast. You're doing Paul's that's what you're supposed to do.
It's nothing
I'm
to
supposed
him.
to take it, but this is kind of just casual too. But I'm 2 pots.
Is it okay to drink
At
coffee
least
this
a
late?
day.
Because it is, 8 o'clock at night?
Sure, there are still
And
people
we're-
coming into the coffee shop.
Are we going to be up till 8 in the morning? I mean, I normally am anyways, but
There's some people that get like immune to that caffeine though. They can drink it and go right to sleep.
I suppose.
I know
mean,
a lot of guys
sometimes
that
I
work.
can.
Yeah. Actually, I would like to say my newest coffee endeavor lately. I'm gonna shout out to Mom's real quick.
Mom's Kitchen?
My mother
Oh, your mother.
got me hooked on this bulletproof coffee stuff over Christmas time. I don't know if you guys have heard about any of that.
No, we should
like
have
I
got
haven't.
some of it. We should have got some
Oh,
of
it's
it.
expensive as shit, and you got to order it. It comes with all this extra crap, but it's really good. It doesn't make you feel like you're losing your mind.
Did you just see me drop $33 on coffee?
I did.
On the coffee? Or he was like, I don't think I've ever seen anybody spend $30 on coffee.
No.
But I was like, I actually thought I got away. I thought that shit was going to be like $54.
Yeah.
No, it worked out.
Art isn't free, guys. Art isn't free.
No,
You got your ringer still on? You better turn
that's
that shit off.
HQ trivia.
Oh, you have a trivia app asking you questions?
Yeah.
If there's a good question, you can blurt it out. Ask me. I
No,
don't care.
actually, what usually happens is I'll start playing, and then the timer runs out before I can answer a question, and then I just get eliminated immediately
Oh,
because I look away. And
don't
Yeah.
play apps that are harder than you, man.
I mean, I usually am just like have my attention on something else, and before I
Right.
know it, I'm done. So
Social media. Well, okay, so I'm gonna jump into the roast portion. The roast portion I usually do where I want to break the ice. I want to make things simpler, easier.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna chew you up. I'm gonna make fun of you for a little bit.
All right.
He is my friend. He doesn't call me as much as he should,
that's true.
but I don't
Maybe
call
after
him
this.
as much as I should either.
You know what? I think I think things might
Might change after this.
change after this.
Now we both are coffee drinkers.
Maybe even Calvin
Maybe
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're neighbors.
Do
Yeah,
we
I mean,
have
damn.
a solo metal record? How come metal singers don't do solo records
Oh well, sure.
over
they do.
like beats and industrial stuff?
Well, I mean,
Do people?
there's-
I mean, Nine
sure,
Inch
yeah.
Nails kind of.
Well, yeah. I mean, he's a one man.
He's a one man
Ordeal.
thing, but. Well,
Tourism
anyway,
band.
so besides the fact that you chose to be a vocalist in a genre that no one can understand your lyrics, it's a style of writing that is about as respected as Bill Cosby these days.
Jesus. I don't know. If I go
Besides
that
the fact that you hang out with your sister more than you hang out with your friends or your girlfriend or
also
ladies.
true.
Besides the fact that your friends are all nerds that play D&D and video games more than anything. The fact that you dress like all of my lazy uncles. The fact that your beard is nearly see-through.
I don't know what that means.
Well, it means you have a whack-ass see-through blonde beard.
It is orange.
I mean, there's a couple of dudes that have pulled off the orange
Yeah.
beard well.
I don't know where this
Most
came from.
most of them are dwarves. Am I?
Is that not written?
That part wasn't. I don't have that much bad to say about you aside from that. You're an excellent performer. You're a great guy. You got a killer sense of humor. I enjoy your company. I'm really glad to have you. In this episode 2, I thought of you at the end of the first episode, and it was more or less I got drunk and you were laughing so hard at the end of the bar.
Yeah.
I was like, I bet you that laugh will show up pretty cool. So now you're
Yeah.
gonna be don't be afraid to laugh. It's
No.
a good one. It's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
like Seth Rogen iconic, but
Really?
it's up
'Cause
there.
Some people say that.
That it's Seth Rogen
That's
iconic.
what they. I'm not even just making that shit.
Like they actually say you sound like Seth
yeah,
Rogen.
which I don't know. If
His
I
is a dumber.
completely-
Yours is a little bit more higher.
Yeah.
He's like,
He's like,
Yeah.
you know.
and yours is better. I think yours is better.
Well, thanks.
But I hope I didn't rip into you too bad. But yeah, basically, are you a writer? If you're a writer, why would you write a style that no one can understand? I mean, do you make lyric videos? Pretty important in metal, I assume.
Yeah, actually, very important.
Do you care about your lyrics, or do you or is it more about the flow?
No, personally, I like to write stuff that means something to me, whether it's based on a concept or personal shit.
Right. We'll get more into what you write about, but yeah. I know when I used to sing metal. So from age 12 to 20, I was a heavy metal singer in 4 bands.
Yeah.
One of them was a Pantera cover band. Nice. And then when Crotch from the Skullfuckers Incorporated went to jail, yeah. I moved in with Jay Ryder.
Oh boy!
And they were looking for a new singer, and I tried out. I think I was one of like 2 guys that tried out. I was 17 years old, and I got the gig.
Yep.
And then they gave me these pieces of paper with Crotch's lyrics on there.
Oh, yep.
Every song was about rape, pedophiles, and I was like, and no one knows.
Yeah, it's not for me.
And then I ended up going to jail for the first time when I was like 18 years old, and then I ended up being in the same cell block as Crotch. Mm. And he pleaded. He said, when you get out in 3 days, because I was only in there for 3 days, he goes, you will not sing my songs. And I go, dude, I read your lyrics. I was already thinking about not doing it.
I don't want to sing your bad
Holy
words.
crap.
Yeah,
nobody knows. He's a talented guy. I'm not trying to rip on Crotch. He draws and does all kinds of great stuff. And as far as I know, is sober and doing well with his life.
I always liked the band, personally.
Yeah, well, no, the stories, like, I heard about that time that he had sex with that deerhead on stage.
I don't know anything about that.
That could have been a lie because I was like 16 when they told me that story, and don't 25-year-olds metalheads lie to 16-year-old metalheads to turn them into tougher metalheads?
That could very well be a thing, yeah.
We're going to get a lot back into the culture, but since I ripped on you so bad, I like to start off the interview. I'm a narcissist. I want to hear... tell me about when you met me. What's your most memorable moment we shared? What do you think about me? What do you like? What don't you like? Make sure you throw an insult in there because I did diss you and your beard and your laugh, and I forgot what else I said. I don't think it was that bad.
I thought you were just gonna rip on me and I was just gonna take it.
That's no, you get no that.
That's how I thought this was gonna go.
But like, do you remember the first time you met me? I don't really remember the first time I met you.
It was probably at House of Rock.
Yeah. You were sitting in the back of the bar ignoring all the rappers.
Probably.
And then I had like a Pantera shirt on, maybe.
Okay. Yeah.
No, I don't remember. Do you remember?
Not specifically. I'm sure we were drinking a lot at the time.
Just a show or something. Yeah, so I guess the House of Rock is just the only story.
Probably. I used to come to your shows all the time.
Do you have a fond memory of me? What's your favorite memory of me and you?
Oh, man.
I remember I jumped up on stage at your Moore's show once when I had that Kill 'Em All sweatshirt on.
Yeah.
And I got a few pictures of me just skinhead,
yep.
bald.
Yeah. There's one.
And I was just like standing next to you, hugging you while you were singing, I think. There's a picture.
Yep. Yeah, I know that's up there.
Oh, somewhere. And then you lived across the street from Maloney and Dan Erickson.
Yep. For a long time.
I either smoked weed with your roommates or with you.
Oh, I'm sure probably everybody.
You're not that big of a weed smoker, though, are you?
It was back then. Yeah. Not so much anymore.
Yeah.
I still enjoy it from time to time.
It makes it hard to get up in the morning sometimes.
See, for me, man, now it just KOs me. I'm done for. I enjoy it. It just depends on what kind of shit I'm smoking.
How old are you?
I'm 31 now.
Okay, see, I'm 32, and I had that same effect happen to me, but not with weed, but with masturbation.
Sure.
If I'm going to masturbate, I need to have 15 minutes after to take a 15-minute nap. And I remember growing up my whole life, and everybody used to say that thing about, nut roll over. You get tired.
Yeah.
That never happened to me until I turned 30.
Really?
Yeah.
I always got tired.
I used to be like,
one off.
I used to be able to go 3 rounds without getting tired. Now I need okay, I got to go to work at 5. Let's say it's 4:30, and I'm like, maybe I need to do this. If there's not enough time, I can't because I'll sleep in for work.
Yep.
It's almost clockwork now, and I've heard the same effect some people have when they smoke weed. They get so tired.
Yeah, I guess it depends on the strain because
Yeah, the indicas, sativas,
Right.
but you never know if your pot dealer's telling the truth to you or not.
oh, absolutely not.
Why do we get along then? Tell me why do we get along? Because we both laugh
Oh.
hysterically at things and drink so much beer and
Well, because I mean, you're a cool dude, and you gotta, like you said, I think our senses of humor line up pretty well. You have a good taste in music, I would like to say.
yeah. I do. I dig deep into rap. I hate mainstream rap. I still love metal, and we're gonna talk about our favorite stuff like that. But
Hell yeah.
okay, so you do what I would like to call death metal. You're a death metal singer. I've heard the style called scream vocals. I've heard it called growling, which sounds funny to me when people used to call me a growler. When I sang metal, it'd be like, "Oh, I love how you growl,"
Yeah.
and I was like, "It's not really growling." And some people say it's just deep vocals. So what I'm asking you is, what is it called? What does it take to do? Is there any sort of discipline you got to go through? Is there any side effects of putting your voice through that kind of drama and stress? Like, what's it called, first of all? The actual style of, the vocal, the scream vocal. Is there a name for it? Because,
Sure, there's technical.
what would you, when
terms.
somebody asks you how you sing, what do you say?
Well,
What style of a singer are you? Would you just say I'm a death metal singer, or is there a word, or is it because you called it growling earlier?
right. No, I mean, I guess that's just kind of a general term, I guess.
Right.
A lot of people know what that
Like I growl.
might be.
I growl.
Like a low growl, a death metal growl.
Or deep vocals,
Yeah.
because I remember, I think I was doing it wrong, but I used to just hack and hack and hack and hack, and I'd make my voice because it would crack, and eventually after you were like rah, rah, you did enough, your throat would get numb, and then you would get a solid good air push. And then I remember Paul Steyer used to put wasabi sauce on top of my mouth,
God.
and your eyes would water, but it would help. It would get more air through so you could
Yeah.
Otherwise, a lot of these guys are actually doing it really quiet, and their mic's just jacked up too, right?
Yeah, I mean, you can make
There's
yourself
tricks to the
sound
trade.
disgusting in a studio. Whether or not you can do that live is another thing.
Right.
Which they
So
get no respect.
so we're gonna stick with growling.
yeah.
But how do you do it? How do you do it? Explain to me what you do before you go through a full performance, because I remember there was times where I thought I was gonna cough up blood
right.
when you did house parties and shit, smoking cigarettes while you're doing
yeah.
death metal vocals and
Right.
things like that.
Yeah, everybody's like, dude, you're gonna sound so much more brutal if you smoke it with fucking half a pack of cigarettes. You're like, yeah, maybe.
I mean, is there a routine? Do you have to do anything?
Well, I'll say this, when I first started getting into it several years ago, I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I just kind of I knew I could replicate what I heard from the bands that I liked. Well, not all of them, but,
Right.
at the time. And then you kind of figure it out. You kind of realize not to sing from the back of your throat entirely.
Right, and
It's
push it more from your lungs or your stomach.
It's more from your stomach. But it takes a long damn time to figure that out, I
Right.
mean, you'll destroy yourself millions of times over, which can be really harmful. But after I started doing it every night, on the road,
Yeah.
back in a few
Then
years
you
ago.
got more control over it.
Yeah, and they were the group itself was also very disciplined in the way that I was doing Melissa Cross warm-ups, which is
I don't know what that is.
ridiculous. It's like
Oh, okay. You were doing the scale.
yeah, yep.
But then you just had to throw a burp underneath it.
Well, it's kind of weird because it uses the same techniques essentially.
Yeah. I mean, you are trying to do notes.
Right. I mean, it sounds weird and it sounds wrong, but you're using the same parts of your.
I mean, just like when you play distortion guitar, you're still playing the notes. There's just a bunch of distortion on it. It's like the same thing with your voice,
Yeah.
where you're just doing a natural distortion
Yeah.
on being a singer. You still have to be a singer.
I think it does help for metal to kind of ruin your voice just a little bit.
I will say that the fact that I have like what did you say when I recorded that I have a natural compressor? if I didn't start smoking cigarettes when I was 11 years old,
Sure.
and I didn't sing metal for 8 years, I don't think that I would have this same voice. And I do think heavy metal vocals and those really shitty flavored Swisher Sweets I stole from my dad, and the Salems I stole from my mom. I had a little coffin I put in the back of my bike underneath my seat.
Yeah.
And I did some damage. You know what I mean? It also makes me fear at 32. I think I'm 32. I was born in 85. Yeah, I'm 32.
Yep.
Wow.
Shit.
Apparently, coffee doesn't kick in your brain memory very well.
It's supposed to.
I was like, I am 32, but so I do. But what if when I'm 45, am I gonna be like, you know?
Maybe it depends on how hard you keep going.
I could make a rap sound out of that. I'll just be like, old dead and vocals gone.
I would listen to that record.
Old almost
Old
dead,
man
vocals
Fathom.
gone. But yeah, and then is there any ramifications to have you ever talked to a vocal coach or somebody said like, here, this is how you protect your voice? Because of I guess I've never seen anybody retire or lose their voice. Dave Mustaine can still do his fucking thing, right? But he's not so heavy,
Right.
but like Phil Anselmo sounds like shit.
Yes, he does.
I
I love Phil Anselmo.
Like I can't even imagine him even trying to do the Cowboys from Hell album.
Yeah.
You know that one song where the Dimebag is like, meow, you know, he does, and then Phil Anselmo does the Mustaine vocals, and they're like doing the high pitch thing.
Like the old shit.
Yeah, from Cowboys from Hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I bet you he couldn't even do that shit anymore.
Probably not.
And then when I was covering Pantera songs, we stayed away from Cowboys from Hell albums because he had some pretty impressive vocals on that.
Yeah, no, he definitely did.
And I'll stand behind that totally. Okay, perfect. So another aspect of heavy metal and the culture of it is Satan. I want to talk about Satan. Is there any sort of connection with your music and Satan, the devil? Are you a devil worshiper? Are any of your fans devil worshipers? Is there a satanic element to the heavy metal and its culture? Have you ever ran into some fucking crazy ass people? Because when I did metal, I would have like dark, weird kids with capes and like bones in their pockets, and then they would just automatically, because I sang metal, I worship the devil. And I'm pretty sure you don't.
No.
If you do, that's fine. I mean, but tell me about, has Satanism, devil worship, have you ever ran into any crazy creeps?
I mean, I think there's some people that kind of, they get it wrong. They think that the entire culture is a bunch of Satan worshipers, which I think is a very old way of thinking.
Well, 10 years ago, it wasn't that. I don't run into it anymore.
Right.
And even to this day, because I wear ripped up jeans and a wallet chain,
Yeah.
every once in a while I get a guy come up to me and says, you know what I'm talking about, right?
You're like, really? Because of the
Yeah.
jeans? And the, really? Satan?
Well, I got a heavy metal face, I think. I got long hair.
Oh, yeah, dude, for sure. If I didn't know you were a rapper, I think you would be like a fucking metalhead, sure.
Yeah, well, I'm still a metalhead.
Sure, yeah.
I watched Hesher last night, and I teared up. So I was like, that could have been me. Walking around without my shirt on and having the cheapest tattoos in the world, not giving a fuck. With a big middle finger tattooed. Honestly, I love the culture. I love the style.
It's fun.
Sometimes hip-hop has made me soft.
Aw.
It has, and it bugs me because when I say attracted, I don't mean like sexually attracted. I am attracted to the metal scene. I still want to wear a black metal T-shirt every day.
Yeah.
But you got to have a little color for the girls, you know?
Sure.
Because my genre, hip hop, which I'm in now, girls come to those shows.
Yeah, they don't so much. Well, actually,
no, there is. I'm being a dick to metal right now. But so it's maybe 1 out of 12 at a metal show. Sure. And it's like 3 to 1 at a hip hop show. There's usually more girls at a hip hop show.
Yeah.
But those girls, the 1 out of the 12 at the metal shows, They are the cutest, the toughest, the least complainative. Sure, maybe they banged a couple of your friends. But, you know what I mean? Those girls are like top notch, and I've seen guys give up friendships for those girls. Those girls have dude attitudes, don't they?
Be doing that. I mean,
I'm just saying. I didn't even write this question, but is what I'm trying to say is that yes, there's less women that like death metal, but girls that do like death metal, those are keepers.
For sure, they're out there, man. I mean, when obviously the best experience I ever got was doing any amount of touring, and they are out there. I mean, they're actually way more widespread than you'd ever think. I mean, Eau Claire is. And
I don't travel. I've never been on a plane. I've never went on tour.
Really? Never been
I'm a local artist through and through. Never been on a plane. Only seen like 4 or 5 states.
Damn.
And I'm a collector. I feel like there's 2 types of people in the world. There's people that collect things, and there's people that travel.
Yeah.
The travelers collect experiences. I'm like a builder. Okay, so like I wanna get all my Blu-rays. I have a bandana collection. I have weird things that I collect, and I surround myself with the things that make me happy. Where other people don't like their things, so they go and try to find an atmosphere to make them. That's why I feel like there's 2 different types of people. Travelers are still collectors, but they're not collectors of things. There's people that collect things, and there's people that collect experiences.
Sure.
And I'm deathly afraid of going on tour. When I go visit my sister in Minneapolis, which is only an hour and a half away, I bring like 40 movies, 4 pairs of shoes. I have to bring my own pillow, and I have to surround myself so that I can actually sleep because I will worry about my things. And that makes me possessive, but I guess that's just the life of a collector.
You like your stuff.
I like my stuff.
I like my stuff. I have cool stuff.
So, like, I bet you do.
You have a lot of cool stuff too. I've been to your place.
Yeah, I got the masks and the horror movie posters.
Yep.
It's all cheap shit.
I love the horror flicks too, man.
Oh God, it's not even just. I like scary, sad, and like violent films.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Dark films.
Sure.
That'll make you feel different. Last episode with Billy, we played Marry Fuck Kill, and it seemed to be the biggest thing there. So we did lady rappers and rappers. So this time I picked the 3 iconic female heavy metal singers in the world, and we're gonna play Marry F Kill. Have you ever played the game? You got to marry one.
Yeah, okay.
So you're gonna spend a lengthy time with her.
Sure.
You got to have sex with one. You just have sex with her. You don't have to talk to her. And then you're going to kill one because you despise this person. And even though you might like all 3 of them, you got to put one in this situation, okay?
Did you compile a list of 3?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Of course I did.
Well, I can't wait to play.
And I hopefully, so the ones I hear about the most are Mariah Brink from In This Moment.
Oh, yeah, yep.
And she's not even really metal, but she's got the look, and every metalhead's in love with her right now, right?
Yep, she's a pretty lady.
So we got, am I saying her name right? Mariah Brink?
I think it's Maria.
Maria Brink.
I could be wrong.
From In This Moment.
Sorry.
And then OTEP from OTEP. Do you know who that is? The girl with the pig head?
Yep. No, we toured with her once.
You went on tour with OTEP, so you know her?
For a month, yeah.
She does spoken word, and it is some dark shit. Is she like that in real life?
They don't do so much of that on stage anymore, but I don't know.
But oh yeah,
their band.
So did you party with them?
Some of the guys. Yeah, I know the drummer, guitar player. He doesn't drink.
Oh wow, this is when you have to do this with somebody you know.
Yeah.
What if you kill her? And then my personal favorite metal singer when I was young, and people I think might have forgot about her, Morgan Lander from Kitty.
Oh yeah. I had their first album.
Okay, so do you know who any of these people are, Calvin?
No, I don't.
Okay,
I'm sorry, I can't even play this.
So we're gonna have to kick him out. You'll be able to do the next one when we switch it and do it with guys. Morgan Lander, Mariah Brink, and then OTEP. You gotta marry one, you gotta fuck one, and you gotta kill one.
Okay, well I think by process of elimination, I'm just gonna have to rattle this off. I guess I don't know Morgan Lander that well.
Well, you don't have to know. This is a game. It's a fantasy game.
Know, but
we're judging people right now.
The coffee's got me feeling stuff. And I want to know one of these people. But if I'm going to marry one of these people,
right.
I might as well know one. So, okay. I guess I'd have to marry Miss Brink.
Okay.
I'd bang Morgan, and I guess I would have to kill Otep.
You're going to kill somebody that let you go on tour with them?
I know, she was very nice, but I mean, that's the way this game works.
It might be dark at home.
Well, and listen, Otep wouldn't want to bang me, so,
right.
That's fine.
Yeah.
That's totally fine.
I think I would marry Morgan just because I grew up like a huge Kitty fan, and I got made fun of terribly for it.
Yeah.
I would have sex with Otep because the passion. If you're a poet, you're passionate, and you'd be good at sex. I'm gonna kill
Maria,
almost mainstream metalhead singer.
All right.
But maybe that's a trendy thing. Okay, so we're gonna switch it, and we're secure guys, so who cares? Marry, fuck, kill. Mitch Hatfield from Metallica.
Mitch Hetfield.
Did I say Hatfield?
James Hetfield.
Oh, because you're Mitch.
Yeah.
Fuck. I'm just looking.
Nice.
Don't let any of the metalheads know I just fucked up the singer of Metallica's name.
Don't worry, I won't.
Phil Anselmo from Pantera, or Tom Araya. How do you say his last name?
Tom Araya.
Yeah, from Slayer.
Yeah.
So you can turn yourself into a chick if you want, or you can just who would you want to spend your life with? Who would you want to spend a night with? And who would you kill?
Well,
Phil Anselmo, James Hetfield. Am I saying Hatfield wrong?
Hetfield.
Is it Hatfield?
Yeah. Not like Hatfield. I think it's Hetfield.
I think I'm thinking because Hatley. I don't know.
Halloween. Hadley? No.
Oh well, yeah.
Maybe. Anyway, okay. Well, am I a dude banging dudes, or I'm?
Let's make you a chick banging dudes.
Okay. Well, if I was a chick and I had to play this game, I guess I would marry Tom, because he's fucking...
His hair.
He's fucking Slayer, dude. I mean...
Curly hair.
They're going to go on their last tour here pretty soon.
Yeah.
I feel like he's probably a pretty nice guy. I also happen to know that
he does smile a lot.
Yeah. They're, awesome. I would bang... James Hetfield, I guess.
Really?
Yeah, sure. If
the
I'm
guy
a
that
chick,
attacked... Well, it wasn't really him that attacked Napster. It was more the drummer, but...
Right.
But yeah.
I mean...
You're...
Bang James
So
Hetfield,
you're gonna kill Phil Anselmo?
See, that's the thing. They're all such good options, It's
yeah,
like,
well,
who do I do?
Those are like the three guys.
Yeah. Actually, I would like... You know what? Can I change my answer?
Yeah,
can
of course
I
you can.
marry Phil and kill James? That sounds way better in my head right now.
So you're gonna marry Phil Anselmo,
Yeah.
even though he sounds like a toad on heroin.
Yeah, but
Nowadays.
I think he'd probably be a lot of fun to spend the rest of your life with.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's what it's about.
All right. So I guess I would definitely I'd kill Metallica.
Mm-hmm.
I'd spend my life with Pantera, and I'd have sex with Slayer.
Fuck yeah. Respect.
That's what I. Do you know who these people are, Calvin?
A little bit. I was just kind of trying to think about
It makes it
I
easy.
think I would fuck Metallica, marry Pantera, and kill Slayer.
Okay, because
Damn.
well, we're thinking about the individuals. It's one
Yeah.
thing, but when I start thinking about having sex with the band's music,
Yeah. It's different.
it is different. I feel like Metallica's a lot structured, so it'd be good to get in a rhythm of sex. So I'd probably marry Metallica's music,
Yeah.
have sex with Pantera's, and then kill to Slayer.
Yeah, perfect. I think a lot of people would agree
if
with
I
that.
was going to kill someone, I would be like, play Slayer. If I was going to have sex with a girl for one night, I'd be like, yeah, put on the Pantera.
Sure.
And if I was going to spend the rest of my life, I'd maybe spend the rest of my life with Metallica's music. Maybe we should have went that way instead of keeping it overly sexual.
Yeah.
Well,
know, maybe.
there's a pretty gay undertone to a lot of metal.
Yeah,
community people.
metal bands on tour are
Yeah.
like kitchens.
Yeah. How so?
Because when I work in a kitchen, in order to save my sanity, I talk about my dick the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
There's
a lot of that.
I get the towels and I whip them in the butts, and then it's always like, "Ooh, I might touch your dick."
Yeah, there's a lot.
And
of
it's like,
that,
whoa,
too.
whoa, and then and then the homo, you find the biggest homophobe, and then you treat him like shit till he quits.
Sure.
But like the movie Waiting, like the restaurant theme where everyone's kind of gay behind the scenes.
Yeah, exactly how the metal community is.
Yeah, and
everyone's gay.
I remember I heard a story from a band. I probably shouldn't say the band, but they would tell me that it was part of the culture and it was accepted to put a blanket over you and masturbate on the road.
I never saw it firsthand, but
You've heard stories, right? And,
Yeah,
well,
sure. I
we
wouldn't
were
doubt it.
all drunk, and he was like, "Oh yeah, no problem." We'd take the blanket, we put it over our hands, and then we'd one face towards the back of the bus, and we let our homies do that.
My experience,
and then he looked at me and he
not
goes,
like
"You're
that."
telling me you haven't done that?" And I was like, "Okay, I'm not. I've watched porn with my friends when I was younger,
Oh yeah, that's what you do.
but no, I don't know
So
if I'd
weird,
be.
but
I don't
it's
know.
what
If,
you do.
Yeah.
So weird.
I don't know if I'd be able to pull it off in the car and like just knowing that like they know that I'm, and then
They know that
they know what I'm doing. It would be in my brain, but I'm an overthinker.
Yeah.
Maybe just singers don't do that
I mean, I didn't.
because bass players and guitar players, they get they have a lot more chemistry because they need each other. Well, I mean, we need them too, but I don't know. There's a separation of singer and instrumentals.
Oh, definitely. I mean, I would have to say, in my experience, bass players are the gayest ones in the whole band.
Because they're used to holding that heavy rod all day.
Well,
They got the longest neck. Oh, I just switched from my turtle coffee to the iced coffee, and this tastes
Bitter.
a lot more like coffee, doesn't
yeah,
it?
that's what you're looking for.
This is that I burnt my genitals taste.
All I taste is burned genitals.
That girl at Caribou had me on that one though.
Yep,
Turtle
on.
mocha.
Yep, she
Turtle
sold it to
mocha.
you.
I'm gonna suffer it down. How are you doing? How many coffees have you had? Like 4 deep?
I'm on 4. I might add a little
Yeah,
Jameson
Pop
here.
it in.
Can I make this taste better?
You can make it taste better.
There's some cream in here too.
What are you going to put? We got cream here. If you want to use that,
Just half
otherwise,
and half, I
I
think.
trust you, Amy.
Got some good stuff.
She's
Okay.
gonna fix you up.
So we're gonna jump on. We kind of did our Marry Fuck Kill list, and then let's get on to some more manly things, manly lists. Last episode we did top 5 favorite rappers of all time. We are with my. I shouldn't say my favorite because I have a few friends who sing metal, but I think my closest
Bullshit.
metal singer. I want to do top 5 metal bands. You don't have to do it in order.
Okay.
I warned you about this before, so you could
did.
do a little bit of research.
I
did it.
yeah.
Are you going to be able to do this, Calvin?
Probably not.
Well, okay. While he's talking and I'm talking, I want you. You're not a big metal guy, are you?
I'm not a huge metal guy.
But you want to
I-
kind of get into it,
Hey,
though, right?
man.
Yeah,
I'll
I mean,
show you the way.
I respect all genres. I mean,
You just gotta hear the right shit, man.
right.
That's how
Yeah,
it works.
no. There's some awesome stuff.
You just gotta get the gateway metal bands that get you into the next tier.
Yeah.
You start out
Sure.
with the Metallicas, the Panteras, and then you graduate to stuff that's
Well, then you go into Lamb of God, and then
Yeah.
before you know it, you're listening to Chris Barnes. And honestly, that 6 Feet Under shit he did wasn't bad. I thought Warpath was a good album.
yeah, that's not bad.
And everybody hated that 420 song where he like sang and he did that like love song for marijuana.
yeah,
That's like one of my favorite metal
I saw
songs.
him one time. It was pretty.
I
bad.
saw him. Well, was he in 6 Feet Under first or Cannibal Corpse first?
Cannibal Corpse.
Okay, I think I saw Cannibal Corpse when he wasn't Cannibal Corpse, but
Yeah, I saw him with 6 Feet Under, probably like 7 years ago or something like that.
right.
On tour during the summer.
Okay, well, give me your top 5 metal bands, or
Okay.
your top 3 all time, and then give me your like who's dope right now.
All right.
Oh,
So
look at that. She
I
changed it
guess
completely.
in my opinion, if anybody that knows me, played bands with me, they know pretty big on Meshuggah.
Oh yeah,
That's-
math metal.
Everybody, that's almost like a throwaway at this point. You're like, yeah, of course, everybody fucking
The one of the
Meshuggah.
best names in metal too. Like it
Meshuggah.
sounds like it's a lyric
Yeah.
right there. You can't say it without.
And they're still good.
I like them.
So
I like them.
That's important to me.
Okay, so we got Meshuggah.
Meshuggah. I put down Devin Townsend. And that
He's
can
the
be-
singer of.
Well, he was the singer, like Strapping Young Lad.
Oh yeah,
back
there
in
it
the
is.
day.
There it is. Yeah, I couldn't think of that.
Super badass. And all of his solo shit, all the Devin Townsend
Yeah.
project stuff is great. Got a chance to play with him at the House of Rock a few
Really?
years back. Yep.
I don't
And
remember that.
Super nice guy, down to earth, sat around, signed shit with everybody, whatever. He's one of my idols. And I guess just because of how far back this band goes with me, I put down Deftones because
Yeah.
they're still good too.
You think they're still good, or
I
you
think they're
think
still
that their
pretty
old
good.
music still rocks now?
Oh, I definitely love the old
Because
shit.
I mean, I actually got to open for Chino doing a DJ set at the Viking Bar in Minneapolis.
What?
But it was
Really?
weird. So we played the early show with a couple of rappers, and then he was doing like an electronic metal and rap DJ set.
Mm-hmm.
But they oversold tickets, and it's such a small bar. They kicked us out of the fucking show. So we opened, and then all of a sudden it was like, hey, this is illegal. There's too many people in the building. Here's a little bit of money. You gotta leave.
Here's a bit of money. Get the hell
So
out
I
of
did I got to wave and say, hey, Chino.
here. Yeah.
And he said hey back, and I was like, oh, I'm not gonna bug him because he was busy, and there was like so many people in there.
Yeah.
And I think Deftones was playing like the next night at like a big venue, but he like must have used to know somebody or something. But
Yeah.
yeah, they kicked us right out the fucking show.
Well, I'm sorry, man.
Yeah, but and then the team sleep stuff, and then
Yeah.
it got a lot lighter,
that,
and I don't hate it. It's just so different.
It is.
The adrenaline around the fur.
Huge difference between those.
Those are albums that I never get sick of.
Nope.
Never get sick of. And everyone agrees on it. It's like Sublime, Tool, and Deftones. You can play anytime in any kitchen or any party, and everyone's down with that.
Yeah.
So I will give Deftones. That's a good answer.
I like them. I mean, I know that maybe a lot of people would disagree with me on that, but for me, they were one of those, gateway bands that got me into heavier shit. And
I mean, you went from Hootie the Blowfish to Deftones to Meshuggah.
Actually, it was more like Robert Palmer.
You had the Alanis Morissette CD.
Oh, yeah, you bet. Robert Palmer to, the grunge era to Deftones.
Hey.
And a lot of gay shit in between.
Yeah.
I have a lot of
So what's your other two? You said your last two were gonna not necessarily be all time, but you had to shout
Yeah.
out two people.
No, I've been some of the bands I've been listening to lately. That new Nails record is phenomenal.
What's it called?
Nails, You Will Never Be One of Us.
Oh, Nails, not 9 Inch Nails.
Nope. The band's called Nails.
I've never heard of them.
They are bad fucking ass, and they haul ass the entire time. Their songs are like a minute
So
and
it's
a
like,
half.
oh really?
They're just
Well, that's the way. That's where they say music because rappers
awesome.
drop the third verse, which were just two verses,
Yep.
maybe one, or actually they like two choruses and one verse in the middle.
Yep.
I don't know. I'm gonna do it my way, but I get it. People have short attention spans,
Yeah.
but they're not the people who listen to podcasts.
Right.
Because that's what this is about. A podcast is about having an hour conversation without fucking
Right. Yeah.
the fake conversations we have in real life.
I think it's nice.
And that's why it's beautiful.
Get down to business.
All right, you got one more band.
I put down. I mean, this album didn't come out anytime. Well, maybe like a year or two ago. But the new Car Bomb record is phenomenal.
That's a dope band name. I don't know who they are either.
Yeah,
but
you should
Car Bomb.
check out Car Bomb.
When I was
good.
speaking of good names, I was always thinking I should have made my rapper name Free Beer,
Sure.
and then
That would've been cool.
had like my buddy I went on tour with be like strippers. So the flyers would just say Free Beer and strippers live tonight.
And everybody shows up.
Killer marketing.
Because
plan.
if somebody told me we're gonna go watch a Car Bomb,
Yeah.
I'd show up.
No, they're phenomenal, dude. They're from New York.
That's a cool band name.
Yep.
What was the band that I grew up that I was like, I wish I thought of that name. The Dead Gerber Babies.
Oh, God.
I was like, genius. Genius.
Draw
And
some
the
attention.
guy used to like stab himself with like broken beer bottles and he'd like bleed.
Yeah.
The music wasn't that good, but the name and their fucking intensity, I was like, I want to see them. But anyways, I got a top 5 too.
I'm interested.
Top 5 heavy metal bands. Not really in order. I could probably make them, but Fear Factory.
Badass.
Fear Factory, I saw them live. Tear came down my eye when he did Resurrection. Although I was pissed off because I actually thought as a young metalhead, young man, that was his real voice.
Mm-hmm. No.
It is not.
Not at all.
He's got about as many buttons as Bon Iver. You know what I mean?
Pretty doctored up, yeah.
But and you could hear it live a little bit more, and I was like, oh man, I thought he was like an opera singer gone whatever.
Yeah, I've heard that from a lot of people.
And I was like, fuck, that's not his voice. But
dude,
still, that the music, the energy, the chugs to it, and just like it's good.
I love Fear Factory. I actually got to eat pizza with Dino Cazares in Hollywood.
God, you're cool.
Yeah, I met Ron Jeremy.
I do have. I did meet Phil Anselmo and Rob Zombie.
Hell yeah.
But I was so young, and when they found out how young I was, they were like, "Get the fuck away from me, kid."
Yeah, you're gonna get us in trouble.
Yeah. So Fear Factory, In Flames, which they're kind of like the new Fear Factory. Well, not really, but there's something similar.
They're part of that whole melodic Europe.
And I love, like, especially those not like Clayman, but what were those two like almost poppy albums they had?
Soundtrack to Your Escape.
Yeah, Soundtrack to Your Escape and Reroute to Remain.
Yeah, that one's badass.
I loved those albums, and that was at the height of my metalhead lifestyle.
Yep. Yeah, those were good.
So In Flames, Pantera, because I had from watching the Pantera 3 videos. Those dudes
the vulgar videos
were so awesome. I still want to know what a Blacktooth Grin is. What was that? That was a mix of
Crown Royal and
like
another. It's
something.
Like 2 whiskeys and a little bit of Coke. Not much.
Acid Bath.
Okay, yeah. Sure.
Is it true that he was a chronic masturbator?
Probably.
Because if you go, because you can't find his shit anywhere, but if you watch like videotapes of like live performances, he always had his hand in his pants and he was clenched on his cock.
The vocals?
But they were saying somebody said in the comments they're like he was a chronic masturbator, and he was really nervous, and he would just without even thinking he'd put his hand in his pants and squeeze his dick real hard. And then I watched the live video and he was doing it, and I was like, that is some fucked up shit. But those vocals, because he's got good, clean vocals, and then like Cassie Eats Cockroaches, like at the beginning of the Gummo movie, and it's just the range. And I wish they would have made more than those 3 albums.
Yeah, no,
Acid Bath is the shit.
I know a lot of people that really, really like them.
And then I kind of had a tie on the last one. I have to say Slipknot, because when I was a kid, when Slipknot first came out, when the first one, they used to call me Corey from Slipknot, because literally Hot Topic would save an extra large of every shirt. I had every Slipknot shirt.
Yep.
I made the masks. I like tried to recreate them and make them myself.
Yep.
I even tried to become a skateboarder when that first album came out, but I could only do ollies in the grass and shit. So if you put me on the sidewalk, I just bite the dust.
Yep.
And it never worked out. And then that's actually when I started doing metal, because I was like, I can't skateboard, so I got to do something badass to attract chicks.
Dude, I loved
Slipknot. I mean, and I still like it. Honestly, their music doesn't suck. It's just there's a huge influence on like, okay, these guys are so big, we're gonna try to change them. And then when we found out that they were liars, when they said they were drug free, and then that picture came out with that pile of cocaine, and it was like, you fucking liars.
I don't remember that story, but I'm not doubting it.
But the one that I almost wanted to put instead of Slipknot was Typo Negative.
Oh fuck yeah, dude.
Did that guy ever admit to not being a vampire? I remember seeing him on MTV get interviewed by Kurt Loder going, "Oh, I'm a vampire," and he was like, "Come on, you're not really a vampire." And
I don't know a lot about.
And he
Peter
was in.
Steele,
well, I know that he has a like 12-inch cock.
Well, he did
because he was in Play. Died. Well, those dudes did a lot of heroin, and they had the most frizzy hair.
Yep.
And they didn't. How could you play with all that frizzy, dead, Addams Family hair in your face? And then I have their DVD too, And there's that scene where one of the band members puts his butt right out the window and takes a dump. So like they're all waiting in line. Yeah. Amy's face is like, what the fuck?
Who would? Why would?
Okay, so
anybody
everybody
do that?
was waiting to get tickets for Typo Negative, and they came and they had like a bus, and then one dude stuck his butt out the window. You could see his sack and everything, and dude just shit right out the window, and I was like, wow.
That's amazing.
Those guys have so much guts. I don't know. I'm not, I'd be insecure with, my sack and my butthole out there, and I'd be embarrassed. But, you got to be tough if you're going to do fucking metal, and the culture is tough. At least we're not in Sweden where they're killing each other over who's the best fucking band.
That's
is that
true.
Swedish metal where they're literally killing each other?
You mean like black metal or?
Yeah, like black metal. The black metal, wasn't there a bunch of murders where they were like, we aren't the best metal band, we are the only metal band. And if somebody said they were like, we're the best metal band, they'd fucking try to kill them.
I'm not the
I mean,
best.
Andy Patry told me some fucking crazy stories about like Swedish black metal.
Oh yeah, he loves it.
And we're going to get him on the podcast one day. You can be the
You have to. I would love to do that.
He'd kill it.
Sign me up for that.
He
right
is
now.
you and him are my two favorite metalheads.
Fuck
You know
yeah.
what I mean? Horns up in
Thanks,
the air for
man.
that.
I love.
Do you got any honorable mentions, Calvin, about favorite metal bands that you've liked, even though that you don't really listen to a lot of metal?
Yeah, I mean, when I was younger, Slipknot. I mean, I don't know if Korn is considered metal.
Korn. I mean,
those guys I remember. Yeah, just growing up.
I mean,
I used to love them when I was a kid.
No, Follow the Leader and Before.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Awesome.
for
And
sure.
even a couple songs on Issues. But now it's like a preset. It's like they just do other songs and then they like they do that like downgrade. What do? They tune their guitars lower or something so they have that Korn sound. And then Jonathan David just has that thing he does. I want them to reinvent themselves in a certain way and just stop raping their sound.
They actually put out a not too shabby album.
Like Look in the Mirror or the one that just came out.
Just came out like a year or two ago.
I listened to a couple of them. They have like a song with like Tech Nine or something on there?
Oh man, I don't know anything about that, but I know they did a song with like Corey Taylor and everybody was getting excited about it.
It was good.
I didn't really listen to a lot of it, but it was better than anything that I'd heard them do in a long time.
What about you, Amy? Do you have like a favorite metal band? When you're working out, when you're going to the
I only know of one, and that I actually kind of like.
Okay, who is it?
I saw them at Summerfest, and it was Hailstorm.
Oh, Hailstorm.
Heavy metal.
I've heard that name a lot, but I've never listened to them.
They're on like, don't they have a chick singer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every metal band has a chick singer.
I
It's
don't
like
know
the
a lot.
trick. Like, okay,
One that I
metal.
know.
Yeah, metal's in trouble. Nobody's coming to the shows. We need to, it's because, remember when new metal came out and it was like the rap metal and everybody was like, oh, I can't wait for this phase to be over.
Yep.
But like now, Rockfest and all the shows, it's still new metal. And everybody said, oh, new metal's a phase, but not the new genre of metal still hasn't came out. And it's like, who's going to beat new metal? New metal was dope, I think, and we were all wrong.
Well, I mean, I think as a kid I enjoyed it, and then I got older and realized why everybody hated it so much.
Well, because Fred Durst had to make it all suck.
Yeah, I still go back and I, listen to some of those every once in a while.
Well, I
It's
love
fun.
Limp Bizkit. Like, when I was thinking about things to do for the Decadent this year, and I was like, okay, I don't want to do a lot of work. What songs do I know every word for? And it came down to Korn, Limp Bizkit, and Eminem.
Yeah.
And I'm not doing any of those three, but but yeah, I was like, this was my childhood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, so I think I was in 7th grade around like 98, 99, somewhere in there. So like, yeah, that shit was huge back then. That was like the pinnacle of it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, and they
all
even
the
said
stuff
Slipknot was
coming
new
out.
metal because there's that little bit of rap.
What was it
to
like?
it.
Was it 99 when the first Slipknot album came out?
Yeah, it sounds about right.
And my parents were so scared because shit was taking a drastic turn up in my bedroom.
Yeah.
And then they walked in, they see the posters.
And they got the masks on.
Yeah.
But then if they watched the movie, they'd be like, don't do drugs.
Yeah.
And then 3 years later, it was like, oh, you guys are all drug addicts?
Yeah. I remember my
Fuckers.
mom, I made her watch them on some late show like David Letterman or Jay Leno or whoever, Conan maybe, probably Conan, and she watched them play like Wait and Bleed, and I'm like, Mom, this is really not even that bad of a song.
Well, it had a clean hook, too.
You know, but I mean, first album, Slipknot, they looked pretty gross up there. I mean, they hadn't really refined any of the masks or anything. And
I remember Slipknot before Corey Taylor when they had Painface singing for him.
Yeah.
And then they had that one album where it was like half Corey Taylor and half Painface. Mate, Feed, Kill, Repeat, yeah. And, I mean, I think it was a good idea going with Corey, but yeah, and then Stone Sour, and then now they're Radio, and but I got love for Slipknot. I think they're a great band.
I think a lot of kids our age could relate.
Well, why don't we take a quick break so we can pee some of this coffee out? My eyes are wide open.
I'm ready for another. Actually.
Yeah, we're gonna restock on coffee, and we're gonna do the second half of this whole podcast, and yeah. All right, we're back. Yeah, getting deep with Fathom Podcast 002. Give me mores. And how's the coffee doing on you guys? My eyes are wide open. I'm a little jittery.
Yeah.
My spit has become a different texture.
Yep. All of that.
I don't know if the listeners are going to be able to hear the prevalentness of coffee in here. I think Calvin has a little bit of a tolerance, but I don't know. He might be like a rocket ready to shoot off over there, too.
I'm still feeling it. I'm 5 cups in. I'm just made it Irish, so.
Our fantastic host just got me some hot homemade Folgers coffee, because the iced coffee I thought I would be able to chug.
Yeah,
but,
usually.
I think I like warm coffee a little bit better.
Shit.
I'm about to try this. I mean,
real hot.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, so we were just talking a lot about metal. I do have these chocolate-covered espresso beans. I'm going to open these up. And you guys feel free to go for it. I got 2 bags. Mitch told me just to get 1, but I was like, no.
I'm going to get 2.
No.
I never had them before. Well, let's give them a shot.
Actually, pretty good. You would think that they would taste like garbage.
Do they? Let's see. Can you hear that?
Yeah.
They are good.
So I did mention earlier that we were gonna. There's a serious theme. See, look at me. I'm starting to just stumble my words now because the coffee is my brain is ahead of my mouth.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah, me too.
When I see hands shaking, that's when it's gonna be something different. But so we talk about something serious every year. Last week we talked about anxiety and depression and how it affected us. This time we are going to talk about the ever so sensitive and ever so disappointing and shameful topic of racism and white supremacy. And I'm not by any means saying that heavy metal fans are. I'm just saying that I have met at least 10% of any type of people, like any group, any culture. There's racism in and out there. But I have noticed it. You know, the skinheads, they like punk and metal.
Yeah.
Basically, I'm just asking, have you ran into any situations where you've been performing and you've dealt with racism? Is it prevalent in the culture?
Maybe.
I'm not saying that metal is racist. I'm saying that or that metal's attracted to racism, but are racists attracted to metal?
I think that's probably fairly. I have never really ran into it myself. I mean, you see it
right
in bigger cities. I think they're the ones that are taking it a little too seriously,
right?
In my opinion, kind of like with the whole Satan.
Well, is it more is it more in big cities, or is it that we don't in smaller cities? Like, okay, we live in Eau Claire, Wisconsin. Mm-hmm. There's not a lot of diversity here.
No.
So, I don't know, would that make racism more prevalent in the fact that we don't deal with other races on a daily basis, or does it make it better? I don't know.
I guess you would probably have to say that, yeah, not having, not living in a big city like a cultural melting pot such as, Minneapolis, that's like a epicenter of different kinds of races.
I guess the only time I ever ran into it, I was at a Slayer Bleeding Through show. Yeah.
That
Okay.
sounds
So
pretty
it was Slayer, and then bleeding through. So not only was there the hardcore kids on one side, and then the heavy metal, stinky, long-haired guys on one side, and it was literally like a war. Every time a kid would hardcore dance, the other dude would smash the dude on the ground. But I know that we got into an altercation, me and my friend Bobby, where Bobby got kicked right in the face by like a true blue fucking red-laced fucking skinhead.
Damn.
Chipped his tooth over just like a moshing altercation. And I got a lot of love for Slayer, but they do have a lot of racist fans.
Yeah.
And I've never listened to Slayer and like heard them say anything like that. But I don't know. What do you think attracts that scene, that whole skinhead scene, to the metal? Is it just anger? Because racism is rooted in anger, and heavy metal is the celebration of anger.
I see, and that's where I think people are looking at it in the wrong way. It's the attitude that's getting the whole thing about it is I can't process my thoughts because there's so much caffeine running through my head right now.
I literally, when I had like an overview of the way I was going to ask that question, and I was like, these words are actually morphine. But basically, this is more or less what I wanted to say. But yeah, I don't know. I ran into it, and I know that you're a nice guy that is very against non-equality. Right? Am I right?
I'm not about being a racist person.
No, it's all. Well, that was one of my questions too. What the fuck would drive somebody to do that? Is it all? Is it nature or is it nurture? I can't think of one reason that I would want to become a racist besides maybe the fashion.
Yeah, you like the boots and the
yeah, dude,
suspenders and
yeah.
Can't you wear that and not be a racist?
Yeah, you can, but you will have to deal it. It's just like
people are gonna look at you different.
It's like
They're
if you dress up like a cop and somebody asks you for help and you're like, dude, just because I'm dressed like this doesn't mean
That's Dave Chappelle.
I'm a cop. Well, exactly. Thank you, because I was actually trying to think of where did I fucking hear that. But yeah, it's do you run into problems with it? Have you ever had to deal with a situation where somebody just came up to you and assumed that you were racist? Especially with the steampunk band, man. Wasn't there? Didn't you have that?
No, not so much. Actually, more so probably in Mors Mortis, because, well, at the time, I was buzzing my head a lot, and people get the wrong idea. In fact, actually, yes, I have seen, even at shows in Eau Claire, usually when we bring in bigger acts, like we have in the last how many years, I've known people that were taking it entirely too seriously, and they'd be like, they got your back, and all that kind of stuff, and you're like, yeah, man, that's cool. I don't know or condone any of that kind of behavior.
Do you actually say that to them, or do you just state that, hey, I don't support that lifestyle?
I usually try and not get into it too much with those people because I know that we're probably not going to get along that well anyway.
Right. But you don't want to push away fans no matter who they are. And I'm actually at the same spot where it's like, I hate the fact that they are judging another person for being different, or not even race, but like sexual orientation,
sure,
or what you like or what you wear. I don't think that it's cool for people to hate somebody else for being different, but I don't want to hate on them for them having a thought process that is different. I don't know their story. I don't know how they got there. And I would like to almost know where some of those people had to get that place. Mm-hmm. I mean, I guess I could see if, there was an isolated incident, mm-hmm, and then they judged a bunch of people. And that's just stupidity.
Yeah, absolutely.
But, what the fuck would make you want to do that?
I couldn't tell you, man. I think the way that it does probably have a lot to do with the way that you're raised and the way that you what you see growing up, and people that like to associate racism and
culture,
that with the metal community, mm-hmm, that's them.
Well,
all
when
by
I was
themselves.
growing up, I remember I felt like heavy metal was brainwashing me in a certain ways. When I look back at it now,
Yeah.
when you listen to like Killswitch Engage songs, okay,
Mm-hmm.
One Love. If she don't love you, make her love you.
That's a good song.
Well, yeah, I've heard it a few times. And they're always talking about the one and only. Like, you get here, a quest for power. That girl's my girl. Like, they do say a lot of the same messages. And, maybe not now, but I felt like bands were teaching me to be a jealous lover.
I would like to say that it depends. When you're a younger kid listening to this shit,
You maybe absorb it a little bit more.
differently than when you get older.
Right.
Because I've looked back at stuff that I used to write when I was a young, Christian conservative boy.
Right.
I wrote some pretty terrible shit.
Well,
And I look back at
with
that
all the
now,
angst inside of you.
Yeah, lots of prescribed Adderall. Great for songwriting. Or coffee. Maybe not at this level.
Yeah. No, I am getting jittery. My brain is going through some things. And this is from a person that never drinks coffee.
Yeah.
Are you doing okay, Calvin?
I actually
Doing
could
all right.
would
I got to hydrate.
Yeah.
Would I be able to get a coffee
Yeah.
and maybe
Some
a
water?
glass of water?
Glass.
Okay.
Please.
So
Thank
is
you.
what we're saying is, and I'm sure there's every culture has got to have. I mean, country music is also something that's you go down
Highly
south.
racist.
Yeah.
My Confederate flag.
That's the thing I never understood.
What about white privilege?
You're asking me about white
Sure.
privilege?
I mean, you just said that you were a conservative Christian
Yeah.
that grew up in one of the least diverse places in the world. I don't know. I don't know where I'm trying to go with this, but considering that we are,
White males
yeah.
living in white
But-
America.
But my transition into hip hop, I didn't realize it. I remember watching the Straight Outta Compton movie and being like disgusted and not even being aware of it.
Yeah.
And it's a bitch. And white supremacy is awful. And
Yes.
we did horrible things. White man did these awful things, but now I see us more as a shooken, scared, guilt-driven thing. And the sensitivity, and I just want to be honest about it. I want to celebrate our differences.
Mm-hmm.
And I want things to be fair. I don't know. I think the coffee's got us fucked up on being serious.
I'm just trying to formulate my thoughts to come out in the right way.
Right.
And I would really hate to say anything terrible.
Well,
Not because I'm ready to, but
well, this talks about how sensitive the topic is too. You know what I mean?
Right.
We
Well-
do in the sensitive modern world today. We have to be so careful what we say.
true.
And I'm not afraid to talk about the subject, but I am. I'm at a loss for words, and we shouldn't be at a loss for words.
Three white males talking about white privilege.
Pretty much.
I got to be the whitest, pastiest dude, maybe in Eau Claire, with highly German
Yeah.
background. Don't ask me. Man.
Yeah, I'm
What do
Irish. I mean, I got some native in me, I guess.
What do I know?
Yeah.
I had one of the other. We had two vocalists in Thera, and the other one, he used to give me shit all the time because, I grew up in the Midwest. Well, anywhere from
Where did he grow up?
Michigan.
So he grew up there too.
But he'd been living in Minneapolis far longer than I ever was, and we used to just joke around each other, all the time. And I remember we had a night we're highly intoxicated, and he told me that I was a racist for not being, cultured enough. And I
Yeah.
think he was more or less joking with me. Maybe he was serious. I don't know. But it was weird coming from another white guy who had lived in a bigger city and seen more shit and had more experiences than I ever had. And to me, it was just eye-opening, to be living in a place that had so much different races and
Yeah.
stuff. Not that it freaks you out, but I mean, if you're not used to it, it's hard to just step right into it, I
Right.
guess.
Well-
I wasn't in my backyard anymore. It was different. Not saying that that's bad. I think that you probably should step outside your boundaries from time to time and experience new stuff.
Well, so, okay, I can tell you one thing. Okay, so I sang metal forever, and then I got really into hip hop. I left metal because of methamphetamine. I had 3 drummers that
man.
all got into meth, and it was just like, what the fuck?
Damn.
And I was like, I'm done with this shit. And the ego, and we would fight. We'd get drunk and we'd fight. And they didn't like me because I was the singer, and they were guitar players, and I got all the attention. Singer, I didn't play an instrument. I didn't understand it. I just kind of got there, got angry. Didn't have to pack up, and we get in fights and we do meth, and then I started. We do meth. I've never done meth, by the way. Wow, this coffee.
Fathom has never done meth. We want you all to know.
It's true, or crack.
Or crack.
I mean, I've done all the hallucinogenics and stuff. I don't think that there's anything wrong with that.
Expand, man.
But and then I jumped into the hip hop world, and it was probably my second year doing music, and there was this thing called the Black and White Affair that the Frozen Tundra put on.
Okay.
So we had a bunch of bands from the Minneapolis, and me being who I was, raised where I was, I didn't really think about it. I had a tube of white paint, and I had a tube of black paint.
I can see where this might be going.
And before I did my first song, I was like, happy Black and White Affair. Everybody that's cool, I'm so happy to be here, to be one of the openers. And I go, I've got black paint and I've got white paint. Do you guys want me to put black paint on my face or white paint on my face? And I didn't even fucking think about it, dude.
Oh, no.
And Jesse Bueller was my DJ at the time. And, of course, everyone was black, 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 black. So I had my DJ cover my face in black. And then I performed looking like a psychopath. I mean, I'm known for my stage antics and stuff now. Like I'll dress up like William Wallace or do whatever. This was the beginning, unthought through, and then I performed, and I got off stage, and everybody was there. There was a lot of people that had a problem with what I did, and I was like, "What? It's the Black and White Affair." And I had an altercation in the alleyway with a couple of, black guys.
Yeah.
And they kept on saying, "Did you seriously just went up there and did blackface?"
I can see where they're coming from.
And I was like, dude, I'm a white rapper, dude. There's no way, and it never even crossed my mind.
You were just having a good time. It was for the show. It was for the it was
And
the theme of the
and I
show.
guess I was never around a situation where people would be offended with that. Now I have to think about that, but I hate the fact that I think about it makes me feel racist. I want to just not think about it. I want to have the mind of a child. 'Cause children aren't racist.
Yeah.
I don't think you're born a racist.
No. It's things that are taught and experiences you go through.
Absolutely.
And I would like to be able to just lay it all out there. And it's hard. And we are from a place where it's not a big problem. And I guess if we were, a lot of people wouldn't even say anything.
Yeah.
But I don't support racism. White privilege, I believe that it's true. I watch movies. I listen to rap. And it opened up my eye to a lot of things. But I think we should just drop it. I think we should just lay it all out there. Stop being sensitive. Stop holding grudge. And it's hard because we were on the right end of that, right? But fuck, man, don't be a racist.
Just don't.
And
Don't be one. If you can help it, don't be a racist.
So I remember when I was a kid and you'd go in bathrooms and you'd see swastikas and stuff.
Yeah.
And nobody knew what that meant. And it's so stupid. And but there's another one that was always next to it that I do sort of support. Whatever fucking happened to anarchy and anarchists?
I think that was kind of a trendy thing that kids that thought that they were big into punk rock would do.
Right. And I know what anarchy is. Anarchy is the absence of government.
Sure.
It means people fighting for their own state. Somebody fucking did something wrong, then the villages would get together, and then we would punish them accordingly. No government. But they say anarchy doesn't exist because no matter where you are, a form of government will be formed, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you have a group of 5 people, there's a government right there. Would you consider yourself an anarchist?
Probably not.
What are you? what kind of government do you believe in?
Well,
are you a Republican?
Oh man, I should have never worn my "Make America Great Again" hat.
Yeah, why
to
are
this
you wearing that?
podcast.
By the
God.
way, no, he's not.
Because
Because I would like to say I'm an anarchist because in a perfect world, that's what I would like to do. I wouldn't like to give people power, give people guns, give people badges. I think that we as human race would be able to work things out. But
you think so?
well, I always did. But no, I'm starting to understand that it is a fictional thing. I mean the abuse of authority, but there's always authority, right? You can't escape government. Government is just a wider aspect of who we are as human beings.
Yeah, I never thought it would work.
Yeah.
The way that people like to think that
It's not good for feminism. I know that.
No, probably not.
Game of Thrones. It'd be like Game of Thrones.
Oh God, like season 1, 2.
What was it? 3, where they ran into that guy that married all his daughters.
Oh yeah.
That was awful.
I love that show, but I can't remember fucking names.
There's too
to
much.
save my life.
Well, the episodes are like an hour and 10 minutes long.
It's about to get a lot worse too.
I haven't even seen the one that's on television. The last one. I've only seen before that.
Oh, watch the last season. It's awesome.
We can't spoil it either because they wouldn't be able to be warned.
Not everyone has HBO.
No.
That's a problem.
And I watch them on Blu-ray because I get so upset with cliffhangers. Like Walking Dead, I was done with. I won't wait until I have the Blu-ray season in there.
Yeah.
I will get so mad. I will be mean to the people around me.
Yeah. Sorry, it's inevitable. You're gonna get into Game of Thrones speak for a minute.
I mean, yeah.
Boy,
More coffee beans.
These coffee beans are delicious.
They are.
I'm glad you bought 2 bags.
This one is going to Paul. The coffee's a drug, man, because my brain is going
Places
and
you
places.
didn't think it would go.
Yeah, wow.
Mm-hmm.
It's different. I don't think you can hear it in our voices.
No.
It's not as cool as beer, but okay. So let's.
It's not as cool as beer.
Earlier we talked about how we met at the House of Rock.
Yeah.
The House of Rock is gone now.
Sadly.
The House of Rock was a darkly lit pinnacle in our downtown society. I played more shows there than I've played anywhere in my life.
Mm-hmm.
It's gone. We have a new replacement now. We have the Metro. And Dez is working down at the Brat like once a week still, so it's like sort of alive in certain places. But you were there like every night.
I tried to be.
Were you
back
there
then.
just there because your bass player worked there and managed there?
Well, actually,
Or what kept you there?
when I first started going, when I was able to get into the bars, I started going to lots of shows, House of Rock, met Dez, all those guys. Actually, one of my best friends, who is a Mexican person, I would like to say.
You talking about Jordan?
Yeah. He had let me know that one of my favorite bands locally was in search of a vocalist. And that's how the whole Mors Mortis thing ended up cultivating. And so I would go down there and hang out with those guys as much as I could.
And just wait for them to invite you?
Well, they didn't... How do I say this? Thinking back to that time, I would go down there just to try and hang, and let them know that, I was a cool dude or whatever. And because their music, to me, I remember the first time I saw them, I was like, holy shit, like, where are these guys from?
They were heavy and how they do that thing where everybody puts their back to you and then like they build up this thing.
Yeah.
It was like every show.
Yeah.
Because I've seen them like 10 times, maybe only with you like 2 or 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the last Rock House show where you had all 3 singers up there at the same time?
Yeah, that was fun.
That was epic. I videotaped that and never sent it to you, probably because I was like drunk as hell.
Oh, dude. We tried pretty hard to drink that bar out of liquor.
Right.
Pretty hard. But I would go down there a lot to go hang out with those dudes. And they were putting me through the most rigorous like tryout session or process, period. I mean, it lasted months.
They didn't let you in the band for months? You had to,
No.
like, prove to them?
I would go in there. I remember, like, the first practice I had with them, they had me learn a song, and then they had me rewrite one of their songs with my words.
Okay.
I kept most of the
melody rhythm.
Yeah, most of the vocal. I just basically filled in the blanks the way that I felt necessary. And so I would do that. Then there'd be some silence. I wouldn't really hear from him for a little bit, and then I'd hear from him, and then I'd go and talk to Dez all the time.
Yeah, they disappeared for a little bit, and then they came back.
Yep.
And then there was, I remember there was some dudes hating on you on the internet.
Oh, yeah. Well, because... Okay.
Was it Rudd?
Yep, Trav was their original singer. Super cool dude, super good vocalist. I looked up to him big time, and still do, really. And so it was like a lot of big shoes to fill because they were a big thing around here for a long time. And
Yeah, they
people
were
really
the
liked,
heavy band.
Yeah, and people really liked Trav's take on the band. And him and I don't sound anything alike.
No, yeah.
Trav has kind of a like a melodic like shouts almost like a Gojira at times. Anyway,
How would you? What's yours like?
well, like I do a lot of like low
you're like-
growls and
See, I thought you were like power metal, power death metal.
No,
I
I mean,
feel
get
like
it-
you push a lot of air out.
Yeah, well, I mean, I take a lot of influence from, death metal kind of vocals and shit like that, because I like that stuff.
Right.
And I feel like I can do that best. But they didn't want to take a chance on me at the time because they knew that I hadn't played in an actual, like, I was in the process of my first band at the time, a band called Point Blank Genocide.
That's not a bad band name.
With a couple buddies of mine, Daryl Stanton, Chad Potts, Mitch Johnson, those cats. And they came to my first show with them at the House of Rock, and the next day they had me over and they asked me if I'd be their guy.
Yeah,
Because they
I was
wanted
excited.
to see. They wanted to see how I'd do on stage. So that's how that happened.
Well, why do you think the House of Rock closed down?
Why?
Yeah.
Lots of reasons.
Well, because when I went up on there last stage, and apparently I was kind of rude, and I dressed up like William Wallace, and I told everybody that they traded their culture for a cheeseburger because they sold the bar to John Mogeson, who was going to just turn it into a storage space. And then I said, I don't know whose fault it is. I don't know if it's our fault for not paying covers. I don't know if it's our fault as bands for not putting on good enough shows. I don't know if it's the owner's fault. And I went and blamed everybody, and I asked the question, and I go, we really need to look at this situation because we are losing our largest venue that actually brings in acts, even aside from locals, and this is like a home to locals. Did you ever remember that picture on the back of the green door where you walked out on stage and there was like a guy with long hair and a ponytail and he had a dick in his mouth?
Yes.
And then somebody wrote Fathom on the top.
Oh, God, really?
And I remember
I missed that.
before every show, the last thing I saw out on the stage was somebody drawing a full-size picture of a dude sucking a dick that had my name above it. And, I proved myself wrong. I think towards the end, I feel like I was one of the bigger musicians that played there more often or not.
Yeah.
I started booking with Nick and stuff, and I was supposed to take over, but then we kind of lost the venue, and we all knew it was coming.
Yeah.
And I don't know. And I remember I always told them, I'm like, give the people what they want. We're here on Water Street. We need dance music. We need DJ nights. We need, we need Dez to tie his hair back. We need fruity chick drinks. We need to bring the chicks in here.
Yeah.
But if they would have did that, it would have been the same thing as it closing because it wouldn't have been the same place.
I remember your speech that night, dressed as
William Wallace from Braveheart.
Yeah, that was epic. And I remember some people were talking about the shit that you said outside, like smoking after the show.
Yeah.
They're like, I don't know if that was called for. I think he kind of went over the line a little bit, and I had a lot to drink, and I was like, well, man, that's just like, he's asking the right questions, man, and you're not asking these questions. Like,
well, I felt like nobody was mad. I mean, yes, we were there to celebrate, but I wanted to be the guy that stood up there and was like, okay, now the night's almost over.
Yeah.
If you guys want to be upset together, let's be upset right now. Let's talk about this. Let's never do this again. And I was like, yeah, sure, maybe they'll take away our venue. But they'll never take our music scene. And then I originally wanted to get a melon and dress him up like a guy and then write Mogusin on the shirt.
Yeah.
And then I was going to smash it with a sledgehammer.
Yeah.
But I ran it by the House of Rock, and they were like, I don't know if we should do that. or like, okay, do it, but don't call him Mogusin, call him like Bogelson.
Bogelson.
And I was like, are we talking about, legalities here? Like, no. And then he was like, how about you don't smash a melon on stage and you do what you do? And I had just gotten fired from John Mogusin from working at the other venue that we had basically lost to him, the Stone's Throw.
Oh yeah, another great
And
place.
I mean, it's open and they're doing shows, but it's a rough spot.
Yep.
We need these venues in the right spots. Everybody says we're the capital of the North, or music capital of the North, which is kind of a bullshit statement because we're not big enough to do that.
No.
We might have a bit of ambition.
Yeah, there is from time to time, but it goes back to a lot of the shit that you said that night that I took your side with, because if we don't change a lot of these things,
Yeah, well,
House of Rock failure will happen.
every
again
music
and
venue
again.
will be like the Lakely.
Yep.
No
man.
locals get in.
Right.
Fancy. I don't know. I don't want high admission prices. It's our job to support these things, and I don't know. Like I said, I didn't know who was to blame. I was just asking the question to see if somebody knew, and then I got angry and then acted like Braveheart, and it was. I had the full blue paint on and everything.
It was great.
Fake kilts, and I remember being super nervous because I had like speeches
Yeah.
that weren't really memorized. I just watched the movie like 3 times before I got there.
Yeah.
That whole idea came from when I was I got kicked out of school. I don't have a high school diploma.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was in junior year, it was a North Memorial pep assembly, and this was going through the time where they didn't give juniors and seniors free periods. So like if we didn't have a class, you used to be able to leave and go to parties or do whatever you want. You had a car, you had a license, you could do whatever, and all of a sudden they closed it off. So if you had a free period, you had to sit in the study hall. Mm-hmm. And me and my friend Jason, we had LSD in our pocket.
Oh, okay.
So there was a pep assembly, and everybody that wanted to root for North to beat Memorial, they could do that. And then all the bad kids had to sit in the lunchroom and wait for 2 hours so we could go home, even though we didn't have classes. And we thought that was so fucked up. So me and my friend Jason, we went around. Every door had a teacher that was guarding the door so nobody could sneak out. And I was like, this is like fucked up. This is a prison. We're stuck here in a prison. And he goes, dude, we should have skipped before this. This is bullshit. We felt like our rights were taken away. And I had watched Braveheart the night before. I was a junior. And I started walking around the lunchroom going, what are you afraid of? Maybe they'll call your parents. Maybe you'll get a detention. Would you give it up for one chance? One chance to show them they can give us a detention. But they'll never take our freedom. So the main doors, we had like the vice principal, the criminal law teacher, and I went up there pretending I was on a horse, and I was like, are you the negotiators? I'm William Wallace. Shut it, folks. William Wallace to be shooting lightning bolts from my eyes and fireballs from my ears. And then this is where I fucked up. And I go, so all of you turn around, march back up into your offices. Stick your heads up your arses. Or all of you will die today.
Oh, damn.
And I just threatened the lives of 4 teachers. The vice principal picks up his walkie-talkie. He goes, yeah, we got a full-scale riot down here.
Yeah.
And then everything like sucked around me. The cop came through the turn. There was like 50 kids going, Corey, Corey.
Everything sucked around me.
I got tackled. The dude drugged me into the office by my hair, handcuffed me to a chair, and they charged me with incitement of riot in a public school.
That is so
I
badass.
went to juvie for the weekend. It was a Friday. Awesome.
Man.
Never got to drop that acid. And then Monday came. I thought I was going to go to court for this fucking felony that would have kept me from going 50 feet into school for the rest of my life. I didn't go to court, and I was like freaking out, banging on the juvie doors. Wednesday, they put me in front of the whole school board and sat me on this table, and I had every principal, every like hierarchy person of school education, and they asked me these questions. And my principal, who I had through middle school and high school, ended up standing up for me, saying that I was a smart kid, but I was too smart and I was disrupting children, that I was responsible for every truancy, for every theft, because I was bored and I was promoting things. And they ended up They ended up dropping the incitement of riot in a public school to 4 counts of disorderly conduct and expelling me.
Is that any better?
I think so. Well, you ain't got a fucking Class A felony on your ass. They were saying it was going to be a big deal.
Yeah.
And I was 17 at the time, so it was like I could have been charged as an adult.
Yeah.
And then I ended up going to McKinley Charter. There's 5 tests you take. I'd slacked off all through high school, and then I passed the first 4 tests in an hour. Mm-hmm. I had the math test left, and I was like sitting there thinking about all my friends, even the metalheads and the stoners that got up every day at 8, went to school, and how they earned it. And I was still so righteous on the riot thing.
Yeah.
I ripped up the math test and I said, this is a fucking joke. My friends are there busting their fucking asses, and you're going to give me a diploma because I did something wrong? I left McKinley. I was 17 years old, never came back. They called me when I was 23 years old, and they said, hey, Corey, it's been 5 years. You've never walked into your school. We're going to give you a couple months to come do your last test. I couldn't fucking believe it, man.
They still wanted you to graduate.
They still wanted me to graduate. Maybe they get some money for it or something. I don't know.
This dog is dreaming next to me. It's pretty cute. He also looks creepy as hell.
Right.
Yeah. Sorry. There's a dog that resting behind me, and he was really cute, so I thought it was fine.
So being a heavy metal singer, how many times in your life has your odd yet super badass talent came in handy for you?
How many times?
Yeah, like has you ever... I guess that's weird. It probably never has came in handy, has
I don't know, man. Like, it's weird because, like, people typically, they'll find out, they're like, oh, yeah, you do that? You know, you play in bands and stuff? And I'm like, yeah.
Do they give you the dance monkey dance thing?
Oh, like, oh, let me hear you growl.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's not
When I
really.
used to bartend, people would beg me to freestyle rap.
Yeah,
And then
I'm not into that.
there'd be a guy that would, like, beatbox, and it's like, I don't walk into your job and
Right. It's like
ask you to
asking
make me a coffee at your house. You know what I mean?
It's except for tonight.
Hey.
It's not like
That's different.
It's just like asking a comedian.
You're not a cafe worker. This is fun for you today.
It's the way that I look at it is it's like asking a comedian to be like, oh, you're a comedian, tell me a fucking joke.
Yeah.
It's not
Most
really
people
how
will
it
do it
works.
though. I'm not gonna lie. I as much as I hated it, it pissed me off. I'd still freestyle or give him a cappella verse. I still
That's
do
nice
it,
of you.
but
To me,
it pisses me off that I'm such a nice guy. I
Yeah.
feel like I want to be a badass guy, but I think I'm a nice guy underneath it all. I think you are too.
I think you're a nice dude. That's the thing. People don't look at me typically and be like, you're a metal singer? I'm like, well, I mean, yeah.
It can't be. Okay, so you're a twin. Your sister is Mackenzie.
She is.
I knew her before I knew you.
That's true.
You guys aren't identical twins, but I hear all this stuff. So like, are you identical twins?
No, we look pretty similar. You can tell we're related.
You can tell your brother and sister, but I didn't know you were twins until you told me you were twins.
I don't think we're technically twins, but
Is it true that you guys have like superpowers of communication and stuff?
I mean, basically, she will literally finish
your
my
sentence.
sentences. Yeah. Sounds really dumb and played out, but it is true.
No, I heard it was like a super legit thing that you guys get like vibes. It's like a more than a brother and sister.
Mm-hmm.
Like you guys have the same exact genetic makeup inside your brain. So like, telepathic. Can you guys communicate like The Shining?
It's kind of like an X-Men thing, like a Jean Grey, Charles Xavier kind of thing. Yeah.
Except for, but is that true or are you just joking?
No,
I want to know some experiences. What it's like to be a twin.
Well, once again, I don't think we're technically twins, but you would think.
Well, you were born. You were in the same womb, were you not?
Well, yeah. I mean,
that means you're twins.
I
don't think we're exactly. You were born on the same
lot of
day.
people
You
are
shared
twins
the
then.
womb. Well, no, it was the same womb, same time, right?
Well, I was 4 years before her, but yeah.
So you're not twins.
I was trying to say that, dude.
Oh, why the fuck did somebody tell me that you guys were twins?
I don't know. I mean, I think some people maybe say that. Yeah,
Oh,
we're very close. She's my best friend.
I
We
swear to
like a
God,
lot
I
of the
thought you.
same
So
shit.
who's older?
I'm older by 4 years.
How old are you?
I'm 31.
And she's only 20.
26. She'll be 27 this year. Yeah.
Oh, man. What's
Yeah.
it like being sisters with a comedian, I guess, because that throws that twin question out the world.
It's hilarious. I mean,
I'm a big fan of her. She has gotten so good.
yeah, she's.
And she's
really
still living in
excellent.
Minneapolis doing that and
Yep.
everything?
Yep.
Her and
she
Ryan
is.
roommates?
Nope. She lives with another female comedian though.
Okay, nice.
Yep.
Proud of both of them. I want to get Mackenzie on here, and we're going to have you be the co-host.
That'd be fun.
And then we'll argue about what we believe feminism is.
Oh boy, I don't.
We've
know
been
if she's
friends
gonna
for
like that.
so long, but we have had some awkward silences on my drunken,
Right.
filterless. I love her though.
Tends to happen.
Okay, so we're gonna play Would You Rather. Would you rather rip out your vocal cords so you could never speak again, or chop off your dick? Would you rather live without the ability to sing and talk, or the ability to pee comfortably or have sex?
Man, I really like singing, but I'm gonna have to go ahead and say I like my dick a lot too. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep my dick.
And you're gonna give up your career?
I guess. You know,
Well,
game over, man.
So then you're gonna like get into porn or something?
At that point, I have to. Do I not? I don't know. What do I have to do?
What about you, Calvin?
Yeah, we're gonna go with keep dick.
Keeping dick
See, I would
on
chop
this
off.
side.
I would chop off my dick.
Yeah. If you couldn't.
I'm sure you
Yeah.
get used to it.
I mean, yes, the initial thought of like, oh, I'll never be able to have sex again, and I got this bloody stump. But God, if I didn't have my dick, you know how much I would use my voice, and I would write, and I would draw, and I would get shit done. I think that as much as that gift of your penis is so important, it's not the most important thing. It's just the most carnal thing that's right in your face.
Well.
If you face me, the devil came down from hell and said, you're going to either have your voice or your cock for the rest of your life,
Choose one.
I'd get used to not having a cock.
That's a tough question. You know, I would really hate to not be able to ever do this again. You know, because I had a lot of fun with it.
Yeah,
But also
you won't be able to
like-
do podcasts
No.
anymore.
I'll just hang out and I don't know,
Well,
punch myself.
yeah,
What's
you can communicate with sign language.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
the point.
True.
But you can't rapping sign languager.
That'd be tough. You're gonna need beats
Yeah.
on top of that.
Beats and just like, I mean, dancing. I guess I would become a dancer if I didn't have my voice. But I actually thought you were going to go the other way too. I thought you were going to keep the voice. I mean, you're 32.
Joel.
You've had plenty of sex for a
Yeah,
lifetime.
but I mean, are you ever really done? You know.
I mean, there's always butt stuff too.
I mean,
I mean, it's not like sexuality's gone if you don't have that. I mean,
I'm sure there's dudes out there that don't have cocks
yeah,
that are making
that have good lives.
probably.
That was my shot
I'd just
question.
rather not be one of them.
Yeah. Both of them would be really bad.
It would both
Both would be
suck.
really bad. Okay, we're going to do the rant time. We're going to wrap this up here a little bit. I want you to put something on blast, something that you hate about the world, something that pisses you off, something that you want to change in the world. I mean, we already talked about how we hate racism, but like, I hate Subway because they advertise a 6-inch sub, and that fucker's 4 inches.
Yeah, that is not 6 inches.
But like, what's something in the world that pisses you off that you would like to change, that you'd like to point out that's bullshit?
Man, mumble rap maybe.
Oh, I'm with you right there. Like,
I like hip hop too.
No, I mean,
quite a
I
bit.
don't give a fuck. The first few guys that started doing it, and it was cool. It was like, oh, these guys are doing something different. And then everyone fucking copied them.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
it tends to happen.
And then now there's a whole group of rappers everywhere that are just
Yeah.
and you know what I hate? Me and Calvin will fight about this all day. He makes beats,
Yeah.
and you know that little trap clap at the top.
Yeah.
I hate that.
It's not my favorite.
What? How does that go? Give me what is that called? The hi hat. The hi hats.
The fast rolling
go,
hi hats.
The fast rolling hi hats that just give them that hubba da hey. I don't know. It just seems weird. It's
because it's all at half speed than normal hip hop.
yeah. You like it though. You like mumble rap.
Well, it's no.
Or you like
sorry,
the
man.
beats
There's,
of mumble rap. Or
more because I come like from trying to produce and stuff. I guess I just like when I started making beats. I guess
That's
it
what
was
was kinda
just
coming
popping
through.
at that time. Like, and I was like more of the down south hip hop, like the Outcasts and 3-6 Mafia and stuff like that. So, but then this new age, it just got so popular and it was easy to copy that they took it too far,
yeah.
So
No, and it's sickening now. But I'm not hating on anybody for doing their own thing. I just wish that people would stop copying that one guy that had that one idea and then it kind of rolled with it. And then now we all talk about the same thing. It's like the worst metal I've ever heard. We're all talking about the same things and we have the same riff and it's the same shit over and over again. And we're all talking about Xanax and getting our dicks sucked.
Yeah.
Whatever happened to originality and having our own voice? You know what I mean?
Right.
Whatever happened to a fucking story?
right.
I agree with you. Mumble rap is annoying, and I'm like Z100 now, and
it's annoying to me.
okay,
About
so
as annoying as like metal trends that get way played out.
yeah, no, I agree.
It goes both
Okay,
ways.
and then we're gonna go the other way. We're gonna give props. The award goes to. Tell us one thing you think is great locally or in the world, or a band that you really like, or a movement, or something people should support, something people should pay attention to.
Oh boy. That's
Everybody
good
has a hard
question,
time with
man.
these questions, and because it's like, oh, I have one thing, I got to think of something good. Just what's the first thing pops in your head when I say what's something good in the world?
What's something good in the world?
What are you gonna give props out to? What are you gonna like show some love to? Like I know Billy just went like Sniffle Party and Coolie Boys.
Oh,
He was
yeah.
like, I love them,
Yeah.
and I was
I
like,
love
oh, you
Sniffle
think
Party.
so? You're gonna reach out and like support local music.
Sure. No, I guess maybe I should have switched my answer to the last thing because this might go the other way. But good God. Okay, so earlier we were talking about how Eau Claire gets dubbed music capital
of the North. Yeah.
which is total bullshit right now. I think that there was a lot of really good things happening here, and there's no reason why it can't be that way again. I think this town has a lot of potential for, music, arts, whatever,
Right.
But the area really needs to, like, hone in and make sure we get a lot of work done. It's going to take a lot of people.
Well, we need to support everybody too. It's
Yeah.
like oh, if you're not slow, sad alternative rock,
Yeah.
you're not going to be able to play at a bunch of places.
Yep.
If you're too local, you're not. Yeah, I don't know. It's. I mean, the comedy scene is booming.
Yeah, man,
Hip
we just
hop's
had
hip
Rory
hop's
Scovel here.
really not doing bad. Metal. I mean, Thunderlung.
Yeah, they're
and then
amazing.
they just broke up.
Thunderlung?
They lost.
Corey.
Yeah,
Yep, they're still going though.
yeah, they'll be
Corey's
back.
a good dude. They are one of the best metal bands here now and
So
for a
maybe
long
that's your
time.
props right there, is Thunderlung.
Yeah, fuck yeah, Thunderlung. I love those
Shout out
dudes.
to Thunderlung. We'll look
Yeah,
them
man.
up. You gonna be in a band soon?
Actually, I've been writing tunes with two of the old Mors Mortis guys, actually, Des
nice.
and Eric. It's
Is it gonna be a whole new thing or just like a rebirth of Mors Mortis?
it's not anything like Mors Mortis, honestly. It's blisteringly fast.
Oh, really?
We don't have a drummer, so we program it all.
Oh, okay.
We would
Well,
have
don't
to,
a lot of fast metal bands use triggers now anyways?
I mean, yeah, triggers are one thing, but
Like
don't
an
think-
actual drum machine is even another thing.
I'm just worried about it. We like to, when you go to shows, I've seen so many bands that I love and respect and everything, and then you go and see them live, and it's boring as shit. You're just
Right.
like, what am I looking at? Like, they're not doing anything,
Right.
Usually with the really technical shit, they just are,
Yeah, well, no, just when you see like singers that play guitars and
Yeah.
they're just like so busy trying to play their
Yeah,
intricate
and I
hard
get
guitar
it.
parts, they can't even entertain the crowd. But
Right. So I think with our thing, whenever that pops off, we would like it to be something to look at. So we're going to have to use screens and, whatever. Just some sort of visual
yeah,
performance.
I think every band should have a
If you don't have
visual
a
guy,
drummer.
a guy that does projectors and lights and. Sound guys. I mean, you can't expect the sound guy at the House of Rock to do everything.
No,
for
we'd
you.
like to do. Actually, we're talking about it. We'd like to do a show in the next few months. We got like 4 or 5 tunes, and they're pretty brutal. It's gonna be gross.
Where do you do metal these days, though? Mousetrap don't have it.
Good question,
The
man.
Plus will do it. They'll send you in the venue.
Right. Well, there's a lot of discussion about this lately.
Do it in the movie theater like Giants of Midgard and FM Down did the other day.
Yeah, that was cool. I mean, it's hard, man. There needs to be more places. There needs to be more like basement shows.
Yeah.
Everything.
I never
all
get
that
invited
kind
to
of
those
shit.
house shows. I don't know. People think I'm just too crazy and they know I'm going to bring tequila.
I know there are people that are still trying to do them. There's no Nate's Dungeon around anymore or anything like that. But I think the area would really benefit from some shit like that. You're not going to be able to bring in bands like. Actually, over the last few years, we had who did we have? I think the last big one that we did here was at the Children's Theater over there,
I
right
remember
behind
that.
Quick Trip.
Well, Blue Felix, was that the main?
That was I think that was a Lance thing.
Okay. Yeah, Midwest Mayhem guy.
Yep. But before that, my old roommate Mitch Johnson, he was bringing in
Everybody's
a lot of
bar,
shows.
they're all about the metal.
Oh yeah, they bring in a lot
Chippewa
of bands.
is like, we'll take care of the metal. Eau Claire, you
Yep.
guys do everything else.
Well, they've been doing pretty good lately, man. Wes over there at Everybody's,
He's
they're,
pretty awesome.
They're pretty motivated to keep it
And
going.
they're motivated into paying artists and, doing the best they can.
Yep.
It's just hard because it's in Chippewa and you can't leave there without getting pulled over.
That's what I'm saying.
It sucks. It's
Got
like
to
a
Uber
trap.
all the way from Chippewa back to Eau Claire. It's gonna be expensive.
Well, my brain is going crazy from the coffee. I want to thank Calvin. I want to thank Amy. Most of all, I want to thank Mitch. Thanks for coming in. I think it was pretty good.
Yeah,
now
thanks,
that
man.
you've been on the show, we can bring you back as a co-host at any time.
Thanks. Man.
If you ever
Love
want to
to.
jump on a rap song with me, we'll go onto YouTube. We'll do some mixtape shit. We'll be like heavy death metal type hip hop beat,
Yeah.
and we'll do it,
Sweet.
man. I'm so into it.
I'm down.
Let's do it. You don't even have to rhyme. Maybe I'll do some metal. Maybe you'll do some rap.
Yeah,
We'll
let me
figure it
rap
out.
and you can do what I do.
Yeah, we'll switch roles.
Sounds good.
That's
man.
episode 2. Give me mores. And Mitch, it was awesome. Look him up. Look for his new band. Check out Thunderlung. Hit up Calvin here at Studio C. I'm Fathom. This is the podcast number 2. Glad to have it.
Thanks,
Thanks, guys.
Thank
Yep.
you. Thanks for having me, man.